Yeah.
Eric refers to that.
Hi to everyone.
Oh, hi everybody.
Yeah, we're going to come right back to that conversation. So as you're jumping on, this is going to be kind of an open mic. You are all the core of our business. Oh my God, Beth, you look amazing. Just saying. You are the core of our business, and you guys are all the ones who have stepped up and said, you're really going to become influencers this year. And we're so excited for all of you, and we're really proud of you. And the way we're going to handle this process is we're going to download what we've learned in Arcway, and some of that we're going to be doing by example. We're going to show you what radical duplication looks like. We're also going to ask you, we're going to put a post on TMA tonight, and we want to hear from you. What do you need? Like Julie and we're going to get right back to the conversation with Julie, but she did a really good job just explaining where she feels that she gets hung up in what she's doing, and in her business, this is where the challenges are. And so hearing from you will help us as we start to direct this process for all of you. It's really important to know that, so that fundamentally going into it, we know where you feel your challenges are. So as we're rolling out this training and the challenges, we know what you need so we can help you the best, okay? We also want to treat it like open mic. So we're going to give information and instructions to all of you, and we're going to download our training. Each time we're going to have something else that we talk about on these calls. And but also for you to share what you're learning and what you're thinking. This is look around at your leaders that are on this call with you. What we'd really like you to do is take a snapshot of yourself, maybe use your Facebook photo, and give a quick little bit of information about you. We did this very successfully in our John Maxwell training, and everybody introduced themselves so that you know who you're locking arms with. This is going to be a really important journey that you're all taking together. This time next year, you're going to all be in a very different place. And the best way that's going to happen is for you to all lock arms with each other and to play consistently at 100%, to hold each other accountable, to hold yourself accountable and capable, because knowing that you're playing full on, you'll know that all boats rise with the tide, that when you're doing something and you're reaching out to a lot of people, you're impacting everyone on this team. And your energy is impacting, and the knowledge that you're bringing to this, and just the stories you're going to come back and share with others is going to impact everyone on this team, in this core group. And from there, it's going to spread out through your entire team. Eric Worre said his mission, he's financially free, and his mission in doing this is he knows if he can light up one person, he can light up hundreds of thousands, right? So when you think about that, each of you has that power to really impact and create a ripple that goes and brings, mission, hope, solution to so many. People doing it. So, we just want to start first by congratulating all of you, because, we really laid it out, right? This is high accountability. So what does high accountability look like? That means, when we're doing a team challenge, you're playing at 100%. When we say, and we're doing it for you, right? This is not for us to be the boss and shake our fist at you. This is because we know what works. And it was confirmed to us at this meeting this weekend in conversation with Kathy Coover, and it really Eric Worre and what he trained us. So what we're going to bring to you is what works. So if you're in this group, we're expecting you to do what works. And, if it doesn't work for you, we're going to lovingly, say it's not your time, and help you and put you into TMA, and that might be where you belong. And that's okay, because TMA, we're still going to run, as you can see, the two are going to be running in tandem. They're going to complement each other, what we do, which is a bit of a mastermind for us, but we're going to make it work. And
that's one way.
And so we're going to run it in tandem. But if you find you need a longer runway and this isn't your season, that it's better to know it, and that's okay. There's no judgment in that. Just run along with us, but run on TMA, okay? Because this one, when we say, we're going to go for 20 people this week, let's get them on, do a sizzle call or whatever ideas we have with you, which we're going to share. The plan is you're doing it, like you're fully in. Okay, does everybody agree to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's how we're going to change lives, right? And so realize everybody on this, look around, because all of these people, we should take a screenshot. Everybody who's right here and has shown up for this call, you're all going to help each other make this journey happen. Your success is all linked to one another on this call. And so it's a pretty cool thing, right? Together we're going to change lives, including your own. So again, great decision that you made. You're living in the age of the entrepreneur. And this is a chance better than we've ever seen before for you to design and take control of your future. And isn't that exciting, right? The best actually in human history. And the thing that we like so much about this, we think even as an entrepreneur, when you're stepping into entrepreneurs where you want to take control over your life and the direction of your life, there's no better vehicle than network marketing. And we want to make sure that your posture around this is really clear. Because, going back to the game plan here, let's just take a minute and talk about that. What we know in Isogenics, and what I'm sure all of you would say is your comfort zone in talking to prospects, it's all in the area of, someone tell me, it's in product.
Starts with a P.
Right? And we all know and love and are comfortable talking about product. But what we realized when we were at this at the Influencer Summit is, in our profession, most companies lead with business first. And the way to create a really solid foundation is to really know and be really comfortable with both aspects of building your business. There are two missions in Isogenics, but we have leaned so heavily into the one, and it's a blessing. It's because the products are so significant and strong. They were so incredibly effective. And also the Cougars love us so much that they kind of
gave him free reign.
And well, they wanted us to talk about product because they wanted our company protected. They wanted our legacy protected. So they wanted to make sure that when we were talking, we had a really, really strong product base in this company. So that's what they've taught us. But interestingly, when we were talking to Kathy Cooper, we said, if you were building a business today, how would you build it? And this is key to know. And she said, I would lead always with business first. Always. And I would be good at talking about business first. I would call people and specifically say to them, and this is how I always built my business, was I led with business first. And she said, the reason you do it first is because your fallback is product. Right? So if you're bringing in a distributor, a business partner, naturally, they're going to use the products because they need to represent them. But let's say they say no, and they say, it's not my season, I'm really not interested, I don't want to build a business. She said, then the natural thing I say to them is, well, yes, but of course you're going to use the products because you want to be healthy and strong and clear-minded for your business, right? So it gives you another step. But she said, if you start with product and they say no, the door's shut. And so, learning to really be able to do this. And the other thing is, when you bring a business builder in, the conversation it's so much more natural in a way when you have someone that wants to come in as a business partner. And remember, we live in the age of the entrepreneur. This is a time where such high numbers in our country there are people who are dissatisfied with their job, or 70%. That's the majority. And they don't feel like they have a future. They don't have any control of their lives. They have to ask permission to take a day off. And so, and if you start asking people, that response is very consistent everywhere you go. So that market is there. And so when you talk about business, people are going to come in, they're going to get started, they're going to stay on auto ship because they know it's important to getting paid. They're going to lean forward with you, they're going to buy the right pack. And Eric Worre said, you start to think about the business world today and I'll ask all of you, have any of you opened a business before or had your own business before? Just by a show of hands. Okay, so when you have, how much did it cost you? You're on open mic, but how much did it cost you to open your business?
For me, I like when I started my business, I had to buy a laptop computer, so that was 2,500. I had to buy a printer, let's just say 5,000 just for me.
I had two different businesses. I had another network marketing business that was I had to carry a lot of product as inventory, and I had to host events at my house so people could come and buy that inventory. So I constantly had people coming through and stopping by, and as great as it was, it got a little bit out of hand and expensive. And then I also had a photography business, so that's a little different, but
it was equipment and it was space and it was employees or whatever you had to do for that business. He went around the room and he asked people, and a lot of people raised their hands. And I can tell you, I had a business or two and my numbers were significantly higher. And we were talking about, people were saying 250,000, 25,000, all the different, it was a wide range, but it was all a lot more than $1,000 to start a business where you're eating your overhead. And he said, when you're talking about business, your conversation naturally goes to the biggest pack. And he said, I actually wouldn't even talk to someone if they weren't willing to invest $1,000 in a business, which is our 1099 pack. So your conversation is different. They're using the products is different. They're stepping right into business. It isn't random. It's a direct line to having a business partner. So being comfortable with this language and knowing how to do it it's a missing component, I think, in a lot of our growth. Now, leading with business is extremely valid. That's how we started. It's probably how most of you started. It is another part of our business. What we find is it's random a bit when it comes to finding business partners. And I know in interviewing most of you, I think you feel the same way too. It's just, how do I find my partners? And it's kind of hard to get to that place in finding my partners, because the people are coming to you mostly for products. That's not why they're coming. They're coming because they have a problem and they need a solution. And the problem is how they're feeling. So that direct line is harder. It happens. It happened for us. We used the products and we felt so amazing that we wanted to share it with people. And then we saw the results that other people were getting. And we said, there must be a real business here. Let's take a look at this model. So it does happen, and it happened to all of you probably. Most of you probably began for products, so most of you on this call understand that journey. So we typically do what we know. But I'm telling you, we're missing a big component in creating that rock solid foundation in our business, and really that's what we want to show you.
So Eric really started off talking to us on day one. And I think I said a little bit of this the other night. He said, every single one of you in this room, whether you're a 7-figure earner or whether the minimum qualification was 3-star, you are playing small. I'm just going to say it right out. You're playing small. And what does that mean? It means that we're nowhere near, anywhere close to our potential, each one of us. And certainly I would include ourselves in that by far. So he said, play bigger, go faster.
Be stronger.
Be stronger.
So what does that mean? So first of all, play bigger. So I'd like you all to write down right now on a piece of paper, just think about it for a minute. What is your goal? Where do you want to be financially this time next year? What do you want to be earning? What do you want your annual income to be this time next year?
I'm just waiting for you to say, now double it.
Now add a 0.
No, not add a 0. You're going to double it. Okay, let's start there. But double it. So I want you to cross it out, and I want you to look at that double number. And I want to ask you, does it make you nervous? Because it's what you want. Good, Julie. But I mean, really. So we wrote our number down. It was a big number. And then he looked, he said, no, you got to double it. And that's what he said. You need to think bigger, because do this right. And that number is 100% possible. Why are you thinking so small? Right? So it was go faster. So this is a business that likes and rewards speed. Do any of you feel like you've taken too much time with this? I mean, seriously? And so when it says go faster, there are a couple things you need to do to make that happen. And one is you have to play 100% and fully commit to this. This will change your lives, guys. I mean, seriously, we were in a room full of people, and most of them have our lives have been so significantly changed by that. I can't even begin. I mean, I could spend 20 minutes telling you in how many ways our lives have changed. So what's the difference? We've been 100% consistent in our business. And when we were told get to executive, we got to executive. And it didn't matter how hard it was. And it didn't matter how we got in our heads. We didn't allow ourselves to stay there. And I'm not just saying, like, we're not the be all and end all. You know, we need to be much further along in our process. But for each of you, just ask yourself that question. What are the things that have stopped your growth? Because what are those things? What are you going to do with those things this year? Where are you going to put them? You know, go faster and then get there and stay there and build from there, right? So we're going to talk about how to do that. And I'm going to tell you, there are going to be things you're going to be doing. They're going to be.
You're not going to like it.
You're not going to like it because it's going to make you nervous. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone. If you're not consistent, your peers are going to look at you and say, hey, how come you didn't post your numbers this week? You're going to post your numbers, right? Right. And you're going to own it. But let me tell you, on the other side of owning it, your life is going to change. So if you do, and you know what, Eric Roy said something that was so interesting. He said, you know, you guys think this is so hard. Really? He said, so you have to connect with, you know, you have to work at talking to people. You have to connect with people and build a dream for them and talk to what? 5 people a day, 10 people a day. And you say this business is hard. He said, think about what other people out there in this world are doing to earn half of what your potential will ever be in this company. I mean, you're just so much bigger, your opportunity. He said, I talked to $1 million income earners, and if they were working for a corporation, they would not pay themselves. Like, what would you pay? Question for all of you. What would you pay yourself for your work that you did in 2017? Okay. Would you still be employed? Right? So go faster and commit to this journey. It matters.
We are all playing like little kids in this big boy business.
That's what he said.
And he was looking at some big boy businesses too.
When he said it.
We're all playing like little kids. We are crawling through network marketing.
And let's go back to what I said at the top of this call. What is network marketing? It is such a brilliant model. No overhead. Your partner company has a vested interest in your success, and it is a synergistic relationship. You're mutually dependent on each other because we're the marketing arm of the business. They need us as much as we need them. They are directly tied to their success. Their success is our success and vice versa. There is no cap on your income, particularly with Isogenics. There's no cap. You guys can say how far you want to go. So you doubled that number. Look at that number again. Just take a look at it. You could triple it. There are stories, and you'll hear them at NYKO. You will see them. Look at those people when you go to NYKO. It's why we want to have a meeting with you all the night before. Look at the stories and realize they're normal people, but what they did is they took consistent action out of their comfort zone, and normal people got extraordinary results. That's the business we're in. So when you're taking posture and you're talking to people about this income opportunity, that's the posture you need. No overhead, no risk. I mean, this blows us away. No risk.
Jimmy's business, as I said on the previous call, 3 weeks ago, Jimmy's business, Jimmy Smith, did $13 million wholesale volume in 1 week. He didn't manufacture anything. He didn't ship anything. He didn't have any employees, no receivables, nothing, absolutely nothing, no overhead, zero.
Except what he eats.
Except what he eats.
And he buys for his kids, which is lots of food.
And he got paid a percentage on every dollar shipped.
So go bigger, go faster, and be stronger. So who do you think gets the most success in this business? The one who is willing to hear more no's and not take it personally. And that's a decision that you make, right? It's a decision you make. Am I uncomfortable with it? Is it going to blow me up? Is it going to derail me? And I'm going to sit and read a book the rest of the day because someone said no to me? Or do you say, I am unstoppable And I'm just going to keep going until, right? So are you stronger? Are you strong enough to say when it's uncomfortable and when I know what I need to do to be successful is be the person who holds the pen at a meeting, which means the presenter? Am I willing to do it? You know, am I willing to learn to stand up in front of a room even if it terrifies me, like Kathy Coover did?
And train the compensation plan.
Train on the compensation plan. Like, are you willing to do whatever it takes? Because in the end, what is freedom worth to you? Right? So be stronger, not tied up into the emotions, not tied up into the nose, not allowing emotion on your team, like not allowing toxic emotion on your team, taking the high road. When they go low, you go high. Like just certain basic tenets that you follow. Are you willing to be stronger? You know, if your friends shut you down, you're not going to worry about it. If your family treats you like you're the 100-pound gorilla in the room, which is pretty much my reality,
mine too.
I don't worry about it. You know, like when I was in banking, I was the brag at the parties. You know, my mom, oh, my daughter, Wall Streeter. Now, no one talks about what I do for a living, right? They never talk about it. They never ask me about it. It's the conversation no one wants to have with me, right? So, am I going to let that derail me, or am I going to be stronger? Let me tell you, freedom, what it feels like, it's 100% worth it not to worry about that stuff and not to let it in your head. So will you be stronger as we do this? The answer, it has to be yes. So are you in? So are you into commitment? Are you into playing 100%? Are you into not letting things like, you know, life derail you, right? How many times, think about in this last year, did you step away, put your business down, and forget about it because life derailed you? Okay, so we've had a year of, and again, I'm only using us as an example, not to like brag or anything. It's just to show you. That's all. So are we good with that? Can we do that? So like this year, we've had a year of significant travel and personal growth with Taylor. But did we put our business down? No. We would get up early in the morning and we'd be on the phone, or everywhere we went, we recruited, right?
Yeah, Christy.
Yeah, unstoppable Christy. I love it. Everywhere we went, we recruited. So you allow family to come in town and you say, oh, well, family in town, or I have a friend visiting, so I'm not going to do my business. What if you said to your friends, I'm going to spend, you know, go out, have a cup of coffee, take a walk, whatever, go to the gym, whatever. I'm going to spend the next hour working on my business because it's building freedom for my family and me. It's building a legacy life. You're going to show them that. You're going to lead by example. You're going to spread that little, you're going to plant a seed and spread the hope. So are you allowing your business to get derailed? Right? So it's a question. So what would you pay you? What would you be worth to you? And look at that number again. All right. Did you triple it? That's what you want to be worth. So here's the next thing. If you're worth that number, break it down to an hourly basis. Break it down to the hours you're dedicating to your Isogenics business. All right. Are you dedicating enough time to get to so if you're doing it hourly, right? Are you dedicating enough time? And B, how are you spending that time when you're breaking it down? Are you spending it kind of working your business and then maybe doing laundry, just as an example, right? Could you say to yourself, I'm going to build up to enough volume, and then my first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have somebody do my laundry for me. I'm going to pay, you know, a high schooler to go out and do the food shopping for me because, well, I don't know, I wouldn't do that because that's a great way to meet people, just saying. But projects in your house, things that blow you out or become your excuse not to do this business because, oh, I've got to clean now, you know. Could you bring somebody in to take over that responsibility so that you stay focused on what you need to do to make your business a success?
It helps when you have a son that takes over the cleaning, doesn't it?
He gets paid nicely for it. But all right, but do you have a son that you could pay nicely for it? Do you have someone that could help organize your presentations for you who you could pay or put them in an advantageous position in your business, right? So being creative to make sure that the time you dedicate to Isogenics is maximized, but also you're getting as much time as you possibly can. So a chef, I would love a chef, Julie. I even named my chef. Talk to her, it's Rosita, and we talk to her regularly as if she's already here and in our house. So,
and a part of the team.
And a part of the team. So these are things as you approach this challenge for you personally, you need to analyze. And so the question is, A, you have your goal. That's your starting point. You've doubled or tripled, I'm hoping, your goal. That's your next point. The next one is, how many hours are you going to spend every week? And you know what, guys? I would suggest you increase that number or double that number, because that's what freedom looks like. If you have to do it at night.
Yeah, what are you willing to give up?
If you have to do it instead of watching TV. And seriously, you've heard that before. That's not new information. But what do you want where do you want to be this time next year? So 8 o'clock at night, that's a great time to reach people. It's a great time to do a text blast. Because people are sitting around, they're relaxing at night, they have their phone with them. You're going to reach them with a text blast at that time of night. How are you spending your time? And really ask yourself, how many days were lost days for you last week, last month, this year? Really think about it. It's so important you ask yourself, how many days were lost days? A lost day is when you were not productive in your Isogenics business. So just think about that in relation to where you want to be this time next year, because they're the things you need to personally know as we go into this challenge. And they're the things you need to have a conversation with yourself and decide what your commitment's going to be for this year. Now, look, you can do this business part-time. So anyone who's on the phone who might be saying to yourself, oh, yeah, but I have a full-time job. Well, so did we. We both did. And they were demanding jobs. And
a 4-hour commute.
And he had a 4-hour commute. And so, what are you juggling, and how can you, if it's part-time, make sure you know what those hours are and honor those hours and commit to them and stick to them. Make it something where negotiate and just say to your family, this is when I'm working. I'm working to do this because here's my number, my tripled number that I'm going to be making for our family by the end of the year. Right? Put a little pressure on yourself, right? And then know why you're doing it. So this time next year, what is going to be different in your life? And really, I want you to think about that. We're going to ask you each of this individually. So that's not to pressure you, but that's because it's so important that you know it. So what are your pressures today? And what is going to be different? And I have to say, Julie, if you don't mind my saying it, I'm not going to talk about what we talked about, but you did such a beautiful job laying that out for us. And I mean, it was so well done that it's become our criteria of how we're going to ask people to share that information, because you just had it really clear in your mind how your life would change, what you wanted to change, and what it would mean to you. And I have to tell you, it's really, really important that you do that. And it's not only important, everything we're saying to you guys is important to you, but it's important for you to learn, because what we're doing right now is what you will be doing with your distributors. So what we're going to take you through is the process of how you will be building a business. So these questions matter. And
not being afraid to ask these questions to people that you bring into your business. Because one of the things that's changed with this group, no holds barred. That's different from us. Because honestly, when we had our conversation with Kathy Coover as an aside in Phoenix, I really felt like we'd been let out of jail. What do you mean we can lead with the business? That's really, for me, that's how I want to run. Because when you think that 1 in 2 Americans, 50% are going to struggle with an unexpected $400 expense, do you think we can come up with a way to connect with 1 of every 2 people so that we can present our opportunity so they don't have to struggle anymore? It's so powerful.
So tell you guys some feedback. What are you feeling at this point? How does it feel, the idea of including, so you'll still do the product. We're going to talk about that as our challenge, that you're still going to do product, but you're going to add it's like you're running with 2 wheels on your car when you need 4. So we're putting the second 2 wheels on your car so you can really run it. So I'd love to ask you guys, how's this landing with you? Any reaction? Anyone?
You mean like with leading
Exciting.
with the business?
Yeah.
Like,
You know, oh, go ahead, Lauren.
no, go ahead, Cage.
I was going to say, when you guys were saying all that, it brought me back to the first conversation that I have ever had about isogen. It was with Mark at Starbucks. And it was not, hey guys, come here to learn about the science of the products and learn about what cleansing's about. He drew the comp plan on whatever little piece of paper he had, and he was explaining the binary system. And that got me excited. And then when he said cleanse, I was like, wait, let me try the product first. And it just kind of reminded me that I started by consuming product, but I was approached for business. And that's something that I think I have forgotten and dismissed. And when you were speaking and saying that probably all of us were approached for business, it makes sense that we're all still here as leaders. And how many conversations am I having with others that strictly are, let me show you about this business plan, and why is it that my business is full of product offers? It's very apparent from what I have been doing the last few years of why my business is where it is. So I'm really excited about taking the bull by the horns and really showing the comp plan. And it's that little napkin presentation that can bring a lot of people to the light. They don't know what we have unless we share it. So it's exciting.
You guys, to make it easier for everyone to talk, thank you so much, KJ. I'm coming right back to you. Just raise your hand. And I know it sounds weird, but I don't want you to feel uncomfortable that you're going to talk over each other. So I'll come to you next, Julie. And anyone else who wants to share, just raise your hand and we'll come to you. So KJ, I agree with you so much. And I think for all of us, that's the case. I look at my business and I got derailed a bit. I redirected my business towards talking about product because I kept hearing the stats. 80% of the people who are in this business are product users. 90% come into this business, for product first. And I was following that lead, but actually that's two tires on the car. It's only half of this business. And so that's really what we saw was, our word was like, well, guys, most people build on product on business because it's a direct conversation and quickly where someone stands. And if you're bringing someone in for product, you can also get there because you can use, as Lauren so nicely put together the script for us, you can find out very quickly, or you let them know what that opportunity is, and you can find out and identify if someone who is coming as a product user is actually a business builder. So we put that in our mind in everything we do. We start to say, where are my distributors? Because that's the foundation of your business. So if you're wondering why your business isn't further along, maybe it's just been too much. You've only been driving with 2 tires on your car. So Julie, what were you going to say? And thank you, KJ. That was a great share. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I could actually picture you guys at Starbucks with the napkin and the drawing. That's awesome.
That was exciting. I loved KJ.
Yeah. I came to the business looking for the product experience. I needed it. I was in a place physically that I was not happy, and I wanted to feel better. So, and then I felt better very quickly. But it still took me a year to open my mouth. It took me a whole year and 30 pounds of weight loss before and even with people saying, what are you doing? And not telling them a thing. So that's like the back end of my story. So, and since then I tell people my story all the time about the product and how I had this amazing transformation and how if I do touch on the business, it's that it took me a year to talk about it. I have this whole little dialogue, but I think it's actually turning people off because it's kind of like me telling them that it's hard to talk about the business. So, I would love it. Maybe not tonight, but at some point, maybe in the group or something, if we could do, I know you said there's going to be some role playing in that February summit meeting, but I would love to actually hear conversations of leading with the business because it's not something that it feels like a foreign language to me.
I love that. And a couple things, Julie, and other Julie, I'll be coming to you. A couple things there. What's really interesting is if you're not educated in how to lead with the business, and how many feel like you really, really are good at leading with the business? Okay, that's telling, right? So if you're not really comfortable with it, what's interesting is you're going to be back on your heels in your posture. Key. Because people need to be led. And if we're talking about something that I'm telling you, in a very short period of time, in a number of years, people will be saying, they will be surprised if you don't have a network marketing business, but we're still the pioneers a bit, right? So it's important that your posture is strong. So we're not only going to role play, and I think that's a great idea, and we'll be doing that on these calls, but we're going to actually teach you what that dialogue should look like. Okay, so, and I'll come to you in just a second, Julie. I'm just going to finish this, then we'll come to you. A point I'd like to make in that is we want to help you get started. So I'm going to just jump on this now because I look at the hour. So one of the ways Eric Worre does it, and I think we touched on this last call, how he exploded his business, was he did something called a sizzle call. And it's a short call. If you listen to any of the Isogenic sizzle calls that we've had, their business, their product. And their product, and then they bring someone on and he shares the story of how his life's changed, and it's pretty much product, and maybe they'll touch on business. And we even challenged Tara today to go and find us business training that is really focused on something other than you share, they share. And you have Lynn Haggard, it's still the early bonuses, but where it's like, what do I say? And it's hard to find it. So
I couldn't find anything. I looked so hard.
Yeah, so he had a long.
I looked so hard. I'm telling you.
And he couldn't find it. So
No, they took it down.
The way Eric built his business is he had a sizzle call, and he tasked everyone on his team. They all collectively did this. Is they kept bringing people to the sizzle call, and then they brought the people to the sizzle call were then brought to a three. Like, so let's say, Julie, I'm tasked with having 20 people hear the sizzle call. And I say to you, I'd really love you to hear this call. And I have a script for you, by the way, that I will follow that KJ wrote, and it's really good. Let me see if I can find it easily. Okay. So it says, maybe I'm talking to say, hey, Julie, hi, I hope all's well with you. I'm so excited about 2008 and hope you are too. This is the reason I'm calling you. I'm looking for a couple of key people to join me this year, and you were the first person that came to my mind. I thought of you because blah, blah, blah. And I would be honored if you would take 7 minutes, seven quick minutes to listen to a pre-recorded call by my mentor who's already made $1 million with this business opportunity. I'll share the dial-in number with you. So the big question is, are you open to exploring the what if with me for 2018?
I would love that.
Isn't that good?
I have like 3 couples that just like I'm dying to do that with.
So KJ wrote that, and this is what we're going to be doing, guys. When you have something, you put it together. If it's a text blast, put it on our influencers group so that everyone all boats rise with the tide. We all do it together. Okay, so Mark and I prepared. Ours are both done. And mine doesn't sound like a cold any longer. I redid it. So our calls are done. We're going to share that information with you. I'll get my phone and share it with you. We'll actually send it all to you in a text blast. But I will share it to you. It's a sizzle call.
So that's going to be a dial-in number that we can share with people?
So yes. This is what it is. It'll be a dial-in number, and it will have a code. And KJ, we tried it the way you recommended. We couldn't make it work. So
we got to talk to you about that.
Yeah, but
the colon and the access code.
And you can share that with everyone on the influencers group too. But it's a dial-in number that automatically drops you into the call. All you do is put a code in. So the way we would suggest, I'll come right to you. I'll stop right away. The way we would suggest that you do it is treat it like a 3-way call and just say, hey, Mark, I'd love to share this call with you. So let's both get on together. And then I would bridge in the sizzle call because then you're on with him.
So Julie, for instance, one of the couples that you just mentioned, hey, Mary Beth.
Bill and Mary Beth.
Right? And so you could use KJ's script and make it fit your words, right? Your personality. Do you have 10 minutes right now? And you can just bridge them right in. Right? So it's essentially it's a virtual 3-way call.
Yeah.
Right?
That's awesome. I love it.
So let us tell you quickly about the script. It's Eric Worre's script, and then we put in Isagenic's information. So it's, why is it a great business opportunity? Here's what Isogenics does. And it's why, and it's really, we kept it really tight. It's just a teaser. There's not a whole lot of detail about Isogenics, but enough to make you want to come to call. And then we invite them, if it's of interest, the person who, the next step is the person who shared this call with you, have them connect us so we can talk. And so we'll do the 3-way call. That'll give you guys an opportunity to hear us use professional business language around the opportunity. Okay? So that's, and it's Lauren, and then I have to go to Julie because I promised you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Lauren.
So I'm just understanding because I want to make the tasks. We're doing the Eric Worre, 300 list, right? That's what we're all doing. And then we're reaching out to them or only specific individuals with a sizzle call. Do you have a number in mind of how many people, like, are we just, is that our focus, the sizzle call? Is that what we're sending?
You should be flat out running at this. Like when he did it, the people who raised their hand, so that's you guys, it was 20 a day. And it just
okay.
So some you're sending it to and say, I'd love to see if you could get on a call. It's a 7-minute call. So you want to run as hard as you can at this. And you're putting together your class of 2018. And in the call on mine, I say we're looking for some talented, or whatever the attributes were, but talented people who would like to join our team. We're bringing in the class of 2018. Which I will take off at a certain point in 2018, but we're going to run with that for a while. So I'm inviting the people. All you're doing is getting them to the call. Hey, I thought of you because, we live in the age of an entrepreneur. I'd love for you to take a listen to this call. Or you could just say, look, I'm starting this new thing. Could you take a listen to this call? You can be as creative as you want, and everything you do that works for you, share it on our page. Okay. So
I have a question, Lynn. Is the sizzle call a live call?
No, it's a pre-recorded call. It's freeconferencecalling.com, our bridge number D.
Okay.
I'll go get my phone.
With an access code.
And then what happens? Like if I invited, like I've got a person who, might be interested in the business and, I want to bring them to this call. What happens when I say, hey, let's get on this call?
Just as you would bridge up. So let's say you're on the phone with the prospect.
Do it with me.
Right.
You want to get me on the call.
So, hey, Lynn.
Hi. How are you? I'm great.
So great to catch up with you. It's been
so long.
It's been so long. I haven't seen you since 2 seconds ago.
I must say, you're pretty cute, too. What are you doing after this conversation? Anyway, go ahead. Sorry. We'll be more serious.
I'm really excited about a project that I'm working on for 2018, and I'm looking for some business partners to be stood up. And I'd love it if you've got 7 or 8 minutes to listen to a call that is a pre-recorded call by my mentor, who's been very successful in the business, and it'll just give you a little bit of an idea what it is that we're doing. Do you have some time?
That's it. And then what's going to happen is, and I'm going to show this to you.
And so then what I would do, right, I'm on the phone with Lynn, not right next to her. I go to my iPhone, add a call, just like you're calling a live person. Mm-hmm. And there's the phone number, and KJ's got a way that she'll show us. So here's in your contacts, it'll have the sizzle call number, semicolon, and then the access number, so you don't have to remember anything or dial anymore. You just hit that number. And when it connects, hi, my name's Mark Addix. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this call. And then it's right into the 8-minute sizzle call. Okay.
So are they calling in by themselves, or is it the 3-way call? I'm on the phone, they're on the phone, and the recording is on the phone.
You can pick how you want to do it, Dee, and how's most comfortable for you. So one way you would do it is, so mine looks like this. So I have it as, it's like in my contact information, Lynn sizzle call, and it gives the code.
Okay.
And it's the same thing with Mark. So that's how I would suggest you guys do it, is save it. So the phone number, if you want to write this down, you can listen to it. It's 302.
Wait. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, it's 302-202.
We have it, right?
No, you don't. You have the old one when I had the cold. All right, 1115. And the code, so it'll ask you for a code when you dial that number, or if you do KJ's way, but she'll teach us that, is 325-87165. And then I'll give you more.
Yes, Ellen.
I just think it would be better if everybody just calls and listens to it. Dee and
That's what I was just gonna. I was thinking the
you know the
exact same
verbiage,
thing.
and then you can just because make notes about those calls so you can create dialogue when you're talking to them. I would not get on a call without not having listened to it myself.
Oh, you should all listen to it.
Right. I just
yeah.
Here's Mark.
So this is
Good point.
Oh wait, where's Mark?
Okay, so Mark's same phone number. It's always, you dial in always with the same phone number.
Okay.
It's just a different code. So Mark's is, the phone number is 302
Yep.
202 1115. And he has the better code than me. I'm just saying, I'm kind of mad about it. But his code is 929-00248.
What?
929-00248. Isn't that a good code? It's way better than mine. Anyway, I'm kind of jealous, but whatever.
After we get KJ's deluxe method, which merely inputs the phone number into your phone, the access number separated by a semicolon, and then the code. So all you do is go in and just click that.
And it'll automatically
You don't have to
dial
remember anything.
and enter the code.
It
And
did
if
work
anybody's
for me.
feeling a little, I'm just piggybacking Ellen a little bit. If anybody is feeling a little weird, all you have to do is just listen to Lynn and Mark's recording call, and you're going to understand that it's no different than a three-way.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ellen.
So when we get KJ, are you going to post that in the group? The little trick on how to.
Go ahead and post them individually with the semicolon in there. But if you all have iPhones, when hitting like add person and you type in sizzle call Mark and then you type in the phone number on your actual keypad, like what is the normal like keypad of a phone, down at the bottom left is like 3 different symbols, maybe a hashtag and a something. I touch that and then the keypad changes and then you can see pause or wait. And we want with conference calling to hit wait. And you touch the wait button, it creates a semicolon for you and then you type in the code and then hit save.
KJ, if you could do a screenshot of that on your iPhone and then just put it on Influencer so everybody can see it. Okay, so I'm just going to
I'll put it listed as that because when you're texting it to someone, say you wrote someone a message and you're like, hey, would you have 7 minutes to listen to this call? Right now I'll send you the dial in and they say yes. You can just copy paste it with that semicolon. If they have a smartphone, it automatically dials it. When it says, please dial the access code, it's going to pop up at their bottom left corner, dial that, and they're just going to touch it, and it's just going to be easy for them. So I'll even post it as is as well.
Is that any smartphone or just the iPhone? It does.
I only have an iPhone. I guess I'd have to check out my Android.
Yeah, do you try it and let us know?
I bet you it's any smartphone.
As long as it's smart. A stupid phone might get it confused, just saying. All right, so you guys, some of you look confused. Is anybody a little bit confused about how you would do this? Okay, I'm just gonna, so the actual mechanics of it, grab a partner and do it together just in the interest of time, or call us and we'll walk you through it. We're totally happy. You guys, we're here to help you 100%. We want to launch you. So if anybody's having problems, just say, Lynn, I'm having problems, just show me how to do it. All right, and we'll walk you through it. The purpose of this is think of the power of a testimonial. Okay, think about when somebody stands up and shares their 30-second story at a launch party and how everyone in the room goes, oh, it worked for that person. All this is that you're having someone who has business experience, who is other than you, who's walking through why this opportunity. Okay, so when you hear it, as Lauren said, it'll all make sense to you. Just dial in and listen to it tonight.
And here's the reason why, Nicole. I'll address you since you asked the question. As part of recruiting in batches, what happened with Eric is that he would get all of you, for instance, let's say you're the class of 2018, and you're fired up and excited, and what Eric's doing is he's asking you to bring your prospects to a three-way call with him. And what happened was, by day 4, day 5, he can't even talk anymore because all of these people are coming to a three-way call with him, and they don't know anything. They haven't heard anything. They have no idea what's going on. So this is the very first step, so that a person comes on to a three-way call with Eric. They've already heard the sizzle call.
So he did this after having a bunch of people go to three-way calls with him. He said, I'm saying the same thing over and over and over again. This is what I say. So I'm going to put it into, at the time they did a cassette. And he recorded it, and he had everybody, give 100 cassettes out this week. And they all did that, and it led to so many calls, and it propelled everybody's business. So it's a way to get you into the business dialogue without it being so uncomfortable for you. And it's also a really good way because it brings credibility when you're talking about it. Here are my partners. They've made $1 million with Isagenix, and this is, they're just going to talk about the opportunity. It's only going to be 7 minutes. Can you do me a favor and listen to it? So this process, the net result for Eric, the first time he did it, Nicole, he did the sizzle calls and then cassettes. So the cassettes had 20 minutes of content on one side and then testimonials on the other. And he had his team, his leaders, hand out 100 a week. In 6 months, duplicating that process, they handed out 500,000 cassettes. Now, fast forward, obviously we don't need cassettes, right? Because everything's digital. But his business, and here's the kicker, his business went from $50,000 a year to $980,000 a year. So double your number. Double your goals, guys. And here's the thing. When you bring in your class, so the plan is we're going to teach you the skills and we're going to work together. But as your class comes in, they're going to join this. And your class, they're going to be distributors. They're going to be people that want to build a business. They're going to do exactly the same thing that you're going to be doing right now. So will you learn the skill by doing it? Will you know and be able to tell them everything that they need to do so that you're laying the foundation of your own business? So you're the first class of 2018, right? We're going to teach you what to do. And in so doing, you're going to learn the process of radical duplication. So it's a win-win. In the process, you're going to be a hot mess. I know, I see the time. You're going to be a hot mess. As we said earlier, there are going to be things that you're required to do to move your business forward, not because we're making you do anything, because we can't, obviously. You're going to be required to do things that you've never done before. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to look awful. You're going to be embarrassed. But as Eric says, get out and start getting embarrassed. Yeah, and be strong. Right? Be strong. And know, Sarah Lira, this is for you, darling. Know that there are going to be a lot of people that say no the first time. It's just, that's the hard work in this profession. People say no. It doesn't sound comfortable in your mouth. You make mistakes. You fall on your face. You feel like an idiot. But it's okay, because that means you're doing something, you're moving forward, and it will happen. And so that's the sizzle call. It's going to take at least some of that. It's going to put the onus on you to talk to a lot of people and get this call in front of a lot of people. That's your challenge this week. Lots and lots and lots of people. And we want you to put your numbers on the page. All right, so we're going to celebrate your success, and we're going to hold you accountable. And hold you capable. And so we want your numbers on the page. So I spoke to 7 people today. It was Bill and Seth and Greg and Mary and Beth and Sally and Sam. And just say and say how many went to a 3-way call. Or I got blown up by all. Whatever. It's all good. Everything that happens, it's all good. Okay. All right. So
you want us to keep track then and post, because I do it. What?
Yeah. Keep track and
because like the amount of text messages or phone calls that I make, that should be one number. Then how many people I actually got to speak to, because a lot of times it goes to voice message. So let's just say I called 30 people, I reached 10 people, and out of those 10 people, I took I was able to set up a 3-way call.
right, so what we're gonna do is how many people actually listen to the recording?
Okay, so you don't want all that other stuff.
Keep all your metrics.
Okay.
Talk about your metrics. So I called 50 people. I actually moved 20 to a 3-way call. And you know what? Just use the script until it becomes comfortable. It will become comfortable.
Okay.
Repetition's the mother of skill.
Yep.
You'll be shocked how quickly this becomes comfortable.
And the other thing to remember in all this is I know it feels like your heads are probably ready to explode.
It's going to be fun.
But what we realized in listening to Eric is none of this is new stuff mostly. I mean, there are some people on the call that it's going to be new for, but most of it's not new. It's all in GoPro. There's the 7 fundamental skills. It's what we know we should be doing to build our business. The skills never change. They're the same skills they've always been. But what does change are the techniques. And it's going to be the techniques and the skills around those techniques that we're going to be training.
And the other thing is, I think it's one thing to read it in a book, but when you're actually practicing it with each other and role playing, I think it makes such a difference. And so this is your first step. You'll hear that call enough that you'll start to get some of that dialogue yourself. And that's what I expect. So I know it's late. I promise I'd get to Julie.
If I just say something to send you all off.
Go ahead, hon.
So you guys, I'm sure you've all heard of Eric Clapton, right?
Yeah.
This could sound like a weird example, but I think it's appropriate, talking about discouragement. He started taking lessons early on in life, and he quit because it was too hard. So if a man who became probably the second greatest guitarist of all time quit because it was too hard, and came back at it with the passion that he did to become the greatest guitarist of all time, or one of them, I think we can all push through our discouragement and make some really amazing things happen. So, Ian and I were so excited to have you here, and just really excited for this experience together.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, so I promised I'd get to Julie, and then I just want to tell you one more thing, and then we're going to end the call. Okay, go ahead, Julie.
I don't know if you may not hear me. I don't know.
We can hear you.
It's crazy. Okay, super. I was just Julie's comment about her language when she was approaching people. I was thinking that would be kind of cool for us to all be aware and hold each other accountable about our language, because it really is important.
Yeah.
How we speak and what we speak out into the world really sets us up. So we could probably do some stuff with that. The other thing is, what's a great, and I'll post it on this page, is the $10,000 question with PK Smith. That leads with business. You know how he did the statement, the question. I mean, the statement, the promise, and the question.
Yeah.
What would That's some great for.
We can't hear you, Jewel.
Lost you, girl.
Well, listen, that's really good that you do that, Julie. And you guys, we'll pick up on that. I think it's just slow motion.
It's just bad internet, that's all.
We'll pick up with you next week and work on dialogue. Okay, everyone? And
and the last thing I wanted to ask
is there
a questionnaire that you put out for us to fill out our goals, and is there some sort of form?
Yes, it's done. We have it, and does everybody have Google?
Yes.
Okay, it's a Google document, so it'll be shared, so when you fill it out, we'll instantly see it, so you're not going to have to worry about sending it back and forth to us. So Taylor will send each of you your own with your name on it, so it won't be the template, Taylor.
Anybody that doesn't have a Gmail,
just let us know.
Should get one.
Yeah, just get a Gmail, and then you can get Google. Right? So just get a Gmail. If you don't have a Gmail, get one, and then send Taylor through a private message your Gmail address, and then he'll send it to each of you, and let's get that filled out. Thank you for reminding me of that, Julie.
Just include everybody on the shared doc.
Oh, no. I think everyone should have their own.
It's personal.
Yeah, I think it's personal. Okay. I totally agree. All right, so it won't be shared, we promise. Everybody will have their own, but it will be shared with us.
What we could do actually is share it with everyone, but then you make a copy and edit that. That way everyone has access to it, but you don't use that copy. You just make your own duplicate and use that instead.
Well, I think we'll work on that. We'll let you know.
I can give people permission just to view it, and then you can copy it from there, so no one can actually make edits unless it's their own version.
I think we'll talk about that offline. We'll make sure it's. we'll make sure it's not shared and everybody's information is only our eyes only. Okay. And then
And I also missed out on what we're posting on the website, on the Facebook page. Our
You're
numbers and which
you're posting
numbers.
how many people you have
Why
reached.
don't we just send a template?
We'll put it
in the interest of time.
We'll put it on Facebook, what you're posting. Okay, we'll put all that done today. One more thing, this is important. This time of year, it's really important to also, we also have product as a lead. So we're doing this for business, but then we're also going to do what's comfortable. Okay, and that's, you should be letting people know that we're leading a global total body reset at the beginning of the year, and you should be inviting them into that. That's your product users. Okay, so text blast saying that, and everyone please share some ideas for a text blast tomorrow morning on the page. Anyone has some ideas? It's going to be, we're leading a global total body reset so that you can hit the new year feeling great. Okay, and everybody should be doing that in a text blast. And again, it's quantity of people so that people know you're doing it. So it's 2 assignments this week because we want to make sure you're reaching your product users at a time of year when everyone's making the decision, they're getting ready for their New Year's resolution. And that's top of the list of resolutions, as we mentioned on the last call. Okay? So 2 things. Is everybody good with that? Everybody clear?
And live video. I'm the nudger for the live videos, you guys. I love you all, and I want to see live videos.
Yeah, I agree. Text blast, live videos, that's how you want to do it. And just get out there and reach people and tell us how you're doing it on our influencers page. Mark's showing me, and he's right. We've kept you far too long. It's 10:05. Thank you so much, you guys. We so appreciate you. Love you.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
See you in the future.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Love you. We'll share this recording.
Hugs, you guys.